Donald? Donald, good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Donald?
Good evening. How are you?
It's good.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, how is Botswana right now?
Botswana, there's been quite rain here. I mean, it's been flooding since yesterday.
Is it? Is Africa raining
Yes.
everywhere? Even in Ghana, Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone, still heavy rain. Yeah.
I think it's not the same. I mean, it goes with regions. Because some of these countries, they are nearer to the ocean. So it's different from ours. Because with us, we have like a rain in one season.
Yeah.
Like for 4 months or so.
Oh,
So,
I see.
but unlike Ghana and Kenya, and they have rain all the time.
I know, because my sailor was telling me in Conakry there heavy rain as well. So there is no production at the moment
Yes.
because it's heavy rain. Yeah.
It's because of rain. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. How is your New Year? How is your 2020?
2020 is just disturbed by COVID-19, but we're just hoping that this thing will come on board as soon as possible. The vaccine that they are talking about.
We're here in
Really
Australia.
move forward.
We have a vaccine, I think, be ready by next month, and it's free vaccination. What a lucky country. The government is giving us for free. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Because we are paying taxes. Our tax here is 10%. And everybody has to pay the government because when we needed the government help, the government is always with us.
Yes, of course.
Not like
I mean,
other
I think
country, corruptions are left and right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the tax there is the same as here, because also here is 10%.
In Botswana, the tax is 10%.
Yes, actually it's 12.
12.
Income tax is 10, then VAT is 12.
Oh, right. So you have two taxes, and VAT is the 12% plus income is 10%.
Yes.
22% in total.
10% is working class income. Then for the workers, this income tax. Then we have this one, value added tax.
Well,
The
ours
one that they take when you go to.
yeah, here in Australia is patterned. Government sales tax is all patterned 10% government sales tax. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I know you
So
have been.
they do.
By the way, what is your profession in Botswana, Donald?
I'm a qualified accountant.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm basically running a construction company in terms of we're just doing small in terms of development.
Oh, you are in construction. So how did it happen that
Yes.
you found Wilhelmina? I think you found Wilhelmina 3 years ago. How did it happen?
Yes, 3 years ago. It was a connection, an online connection, obviously. Then since then, we've just been in contact. I've been learning so many things, and this is where we are. Is it 4 years? It's almost 4 years now. This is the 4th year.
So did you learn out of my YouTube channel and on my Facebook? Did you digest it properly on how to assist your client in buying gold and diamond? Did you learn properly, or did you digest it?
Yes. Since from the onset, I mean, I've been learning, and as well, I've been calling you where I didn't understand here and there. You take me through every step. You clarify where I mean, you basically have been my mentor for like for like this past years.
Oh, thank you very much. You learn from
And yes,
University of Hard Knocks then, hey?
and I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful. I mean, the way you have been handling transaction is just superb, just out of this world. I mean, the way you deal with buyers and sellers is just something extraordinary that we haven't seen before.
Yeah?
And indeed, you are really the mother of this business, as they always say.
Everybody say mother of gold, but um, there's a lot of joker broker doesn't like Wilhelmina's guts. Those joker broker, they accuse me that I'm a scammer. I don't know how much I scam them. I don't have any idea. They don't understand the meaning of scam. They don't. They're just floating around and collecting information, and they're gonna say, "Madam, how much is my commission?" And I told them, "You have no, you have to know who is your buyer before you're gonna get the commission." Mm. Because I'm no longer entertaining joker buyer and doji broker because it's too messy. We are now on the social media. A YouTube channel and Facebook is the main source of searching supply. So we try to cut all the time waster. So out of that, you learn a lot from Wilhelmina, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Mm-hmm. So how many joker broker you have been dealing in the past, Donald?
I have met quite. I mean, after I've learned, to how to really sieve from the real person, from you, of course. That's when I began to, take it to another level to say this is how I identify this joker brokers and this that they flooded the online market and every day they are saying this, tomorrow this, and SPO, CLC, whatever those things are. That's how they always. But after you went through with me the true process of this business, that's when I began to see that I'm just wasting my time with some people when I could have been doing something else.
How many years that you have been wasting your time with those Duji or EG people?
It's been like since I started. I think just before I met you, it was probably around 2 3 years. I was
Wow.
just fumbling with joker brokers everywhere.
Well, I think most of the joker broker and EG buyer they're asking CIF. CIF means cost, insurance, and freight. Being an accountant, you went to university and study economics, right? In economics,
Yes, of course.
there is always saying supply and demand determine the price. So when there is a demand, the
Yes.
price is really high demand. So cost insurance and
Yes.
freight is not workable everywhere, especially this gold business and diamond. Now, may I clarify to you so that you will learn as well. Every day is a learning process, and no such person who show her face on the social domain, and most of the joker broker they're hiding their faces, and even the buyer they're
Yes.
also hiding their faces. Why? They're scared. Why they're scared? Because they don't want to be known as a joker. They don't want to be known as a doji buyer. There's a lot of doji buyer I have met in the past. Since 2011, I met a lot of doji buyer and doji broker and also doji seller. Now I'm going to explain to you how this doji seller offer to a particular doji buyer as well. Now when the doji seller offer the price 35, 36, 40, that is only gross. So the doji seller would not tell his doji buyer. I call them doji because they're both doji. Doji means they're all both scammer. So when the doji seller offer cheap price, then he will trap the doji buyer because the doji buyer is also hungry to get the profit. That is normal. But this doji buyer, thinking that he can get the gold and rough diamond, without knowing what necessary documentation they are going to need. So what happened when he traveled to that particular country? That doji buyer and doji seller fell because the doji seller said, "Oh, this is our price." So the doji buyer said, "Oh, you told me this is the price of 40 or 38." So that's not the price. That is only gross. In order for you to be trapped, once you are on the ground, let's say in Ghana or in Mali, in Conakry, Sierra Leone, or Burkina Faso, you're gonna be trapped, especially in Kimpala. They will offer you very cheap price, and you as a doji buyer, you will be excited because you're excited on the profit. You are not thinking about what necessary documentation that you're gonna get and what are the costing. There is a cost of $100 to Aussie the gold, and you have to pay the shipping cost of 1%, and you need to insure 1%. So in total of 2% on the total sale value. But the doji seller would not tell you that. Wouldn't. So what happened? You're gonna be scammed. You're gonna be trapped. So I call that tralala. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. There's a lot. I call them tralala because the doji buyer and doji seller, they're excited. Yeah, my language is really fascinating, and they don't like me, and they said, "Oh, it's scam, it's scam." They don't know the word is scam. So going back to this buyer asking for CIF, cost insurance and freight, that particular buyer have no money. He's going to leverage it. He's going to sell the gold to his own customer. So he gonna get the gold from particular doji seller, and he gonna resell it to his own customer, and he will get the profit. Sometimes the doji buyer will run away. So who is the loser? Doji seller as well. So there's a lot of buyers that thinking that Africa they can deceive Africa. African is also smart. You are African. You are in Botswana. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
So being an accountant, you know that there is no way you can give me credit because I'm a stranger to you. You will not give me your products as credit. You wouldn't.
Yes, of course. Yes.
You're gonna say, "Well, Amina, do you have the
We
money?"
don't give.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, this is how it works. In terms of giving credit, we have to know your capacity in terms of financing your account and
Correct.
how long you have been able to do that. Because we don't just say we can give you credit without knowing who really you are. I
Correct.
mean, as long as you are a client, as long as you are our client, we have been monitoring you since you opened an account with us. That's when we can be comfortable with giving you a credit.
We will only give you a credit when you build your financial credibility to us. Maybe in 5 shipment, but on the beginning, we will not give you because we have to build your trust, and you need to trust us. So most of the doji buyer is scared as well to us, especially to this lady. You're talking to this lady from Australia. Everybody's scared with Wilhelmina. I don't know why they're allergic of my name. Tell me why they're allergic. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them the vaccination in Australia because they're allergic of my name. They're allergic of my name, so I think they need the COVID-19 vaccination because they're allergic.
Yeah, of allergy.
Yeah, especially here in Australia,
Yeah.
our COVID-19 vaccination is free. Yeah,
It's free. Yeah.
we're getting free
So
next month.
I think. Mm, mm. I think my take on the fact that they will be allergic to you is because you are giving something that the market really needs. So, I mean, obviously, as time goes on, we have to raise a bar to say, listen, guys, I have been in this position. I mean, isn't it just recently you have been able to close like 2.5 tons?
Exactly
So
correct.
if you have been, you're already in a stage whereby I cannot come to you and say I want 5 kilo, I want 7 kilo. You understand? So you are in a stage that at least the minimum order that you can push now
It's 20.
it's at least 20 kilograms. It's at least 20 kilograms. So some will take it to say we need lower kilograms, but I mean you have already passed that stage. You know, at this point in juncture, you are at a level whereby at least the minimum order has to be 20 kilograms.
Well, if the buyer wants 10 kilos, let's say 10 kilos, I might consider, but the buyer has to convince me because I'm the gatekeeper. If the buyer has no $500,000 in his bank account, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it at all. I'll tell you, I have a buyer from Qatar, and he saw me on YouTube, and he met the criteria, and he showed me his financial bank statement that he has 1.4 million. So I consider him 10 kilos. But because Qatar is locked down at the moment, so he postponed his trip to travel to West Africa. So instead of 20, I consider him 10 kilos because he provided me his business registration, importation license, passport, and financial statement, his bank statement that he has 1.4 million. That is a real buyer. That's a real buyer.
Yes.
So, but because he cannot travel at the moment, so I told him, just wait, don't rush. You know, you will come back once you're gonna be vaccinated, because in Qatar it's also closed down. So at least he's happy because we send him all the necessary vital informations of my seller in Mali, and you know, Donald, I don't float my seller's information until I I validated the buyer, until I would be satisfied with the buyer. I would not release my seller's information because everything now is online. I put everything. You read it, then you send me a letter of intent to purchase coming from the buyer. Right. So most of the people, like your fellow African from South Africa, her name is Winka Dreyer. She abused me. Yeah. She took my picture and she put me on scam page, and I told her good luck and I will make you famous. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it because she doesn't meet the criteria that you're just asking? A simple
Yes.
criteria.
She said that my seller in Conakry is fake, and she is fake. When I look at her information on LinkedIn, she is fake. Yeah. So if I am fake, Donald, do you think I'm going to show my face?
No, that's not going to be the case, because I think for those who are fake, they always hide behind the camera.
Correct.
They don't want to be seen. I mean, somebody who is fake. How can that person come online every day and explain the process every day? I mean, we are there. We are witnessing even the transactions. And some of us who are seeing them. I mean, we know the true story, of course.
They are scared because they are not really a buyer. They are just pretending to be a buyer. Now, going back to letter of credit, being an accountant, you study economics. Define me the words LC. I want you to give me the answer. What is the definitions of LC?
Basically, it's the letter of credit.
Yes. I want you to explain online in order for the future doji buyer understand why this doji buyer asking a letter of credit.
Basically, the letter of credit is it works like this. You go to a financier, in this case a bank, your bank. You go there and you talk to your banker. If I am your banker, I will tell you, you come to me and you ask for the letter of credit. And I'm going to give you the letter of credit on the basis of your financial status with us. As the firm that is working with you, in this case a bank or whatever organization that to be. will be coming to. But letter of credit is given on the basis of your capacity in terms of finances. You know, you will be requesting letter of credit based on your statement.
Correct.
On your statement from the past times.
Correct.
Yes.
So when you buy gold, why are you going to ask for credit? Gold is money. Gold is cash. Why? So something wrong with you, something wrong with the Doji buyer asking credit, meaning to say he doesn't have cash flow. He's going to borrow money in the bank. That's why he go to the bank. Now, on letter of credit, the bank will ask the bank, what are you intend to buy? Why you ask for credit? So then, that particular Doji buyer, he would ask us a lot of information thinking that he can get the gold. Immediately when you tell me letter of credit, I will reject you right on there. Why? Gold is cash. Gold is money.
Gold is cash.
Yes.
And again, you see, letter of credit has to be accompanied by all the documentation.
Correct.
That is, will be requiring quite so much information, because if it's a transaction of gold in that case, if it comes to us, it will mean that he doesn't have money. That's number one. So for us to borrow him money, we are going to need all those documentation that we'll be requesting online.
From us.
Give me SKR, give me this, give me that, because it is required.
We don't. Immediately I will reject you if you're going to ask that LC, give me this, show me the SKR. I will reject you. Why? There's no point to say, give you the SKR. Therefore, you show that you have no cash flow. So you are just wasting my time. Because to have an LC, it would take 60 days to process. And we don't do business 60 days. We do business, you have the cash in the bank, we have the gold, you only stay in Africa 9 working days, take it or leave it. Does that make sense?
That does.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yes.
I do remember a captain in the ship. A captain in the ship, he's very close to me, and he's my blood relation. And he told me that before the ship leave the shore, when the Japanese sell his goods to a particular buyer, the Japanese owner instructed the captain of the ship, do not leave the shore without full payment. So when the buyer and the seller sign a contract, immediately 50% down payment, take it or leave it. Now this captain that I have spoken, and he is very close to me, and he said to me, your procedure is very clear and simple, because being me as a captain, the seller instructed us not to leave the shore without the balance payment. Once the ship leave the shore, the payment is fully paid. Now going back to gold, exactly the same. That captain that I have spoken is very close to me. He admire and he appreciate how did I help this African seller. And I said to this captain, very simple, to taste the acid, the gold, the buyer has to pay 40 to 50%, take it or leave it, because you already got the acid report. Now, the balance, you have to transfer the payment bank to bank because of money laundering. You know the captain that I have spoken? He really admired that I help my seller. Exactly the same. But most of the Doji buyer, they don't like my Wilhelmina's attitude. They don't like Wilhelmina's frankness. Too bad. They accuse me as a scammer. They're all scammers because they're asking CIF. They're sophisticated scammers, really. Yeah. So I think being an accountant, you explain. Go ahead, Donald.
Yes, but I mean, even if you go to the shop, you go there, you are going to request something. Whether let's just say you're going to buy bread, as an instance, you go to the shop, and when you get there, you take the bread from the shelf. You go to the till, pay for it and get out of the shop with it.
Exactly.
It's not like you are going to say, let me take the bread and come back, I'll pay it at a later stage. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a simple criteria. It's not something to be debated. If you can't afford, if you can't buy, it's your problem.
Exactly correct. You're right. That is the reason why, Donald, I was the one who brought this explanation on social media when I was in Africa.
Yes, of course.
There's a lot of issue, buyers and seller. There's a lot of cheating each other, and the buyer from overseas have no idea, and the travel, especially in Ghana, the offer was the cheap price, and when you're there, the government will not issue the certificate of ownership unless you pay the products. Sometimes the gold is low grade. There is an area in Ghana the gold is low grade. There is an area that the gold is higher. Mhm. So if you are not very careful, that is why I'm guiding the buyer. That is why I do charge my extra. I'm not asking you upfront. When I travel and you travel, I am gonna ask you, can you afford? How much money you have available in your bank account? You have option. You travel alone and I will monitor your movement, or you want my assistance on the ground with you. So the buyer has the option. And the buyer said, how much you charge? I only charge my extra service to cover my transport, my traveling cost. But if you don't have limited cash, I'm going to tell you, don't travel if you have limited cash, because you're gonna encounter any issue. If I am not around on the ground, how could I assist you? I'm too far. I'm in Australia. I'm extension of the seller, so I'm too far. So I have to give the buyer an option. If the buyer cannot afford, meaning to say he's not a buyer. He's not. Mhm.
Yes.
When I charge the buyer my extra cost, my extra service, I will give the buyer an extra discount in order to recover my expenses. So the winner, at the end of the day, the buyer is the winner. Yes?
Is the buyer.
Yes. So my services is very, very important. I think you learned from Wilhelmina, from University of Hard Knocks today. 3 years ago you didn't learn. You kept on running around. Now you start to understand. Mm.
Of course, of course. I mean, buyer has to understand that your service is pivotal. We have got experience in this area. So if you smell anything fishy, you are going to protect him, obviously.
Yes, correct.
So you are there for your extra service to make sure that everybody gets out as a winner.
Exactly.
So if you choose an option of going without extra service, there's no guarantee. There's guarantee, but it's limited. Let's say in terms of mathematics, you can say it's 85%. But when we're there, we are sure that everything is going to go as smooth as 100%.
The guarantee, when I travel with the buyer, the guarantee is 100%. Why? I know my seller. I will travel ahead of time. And I will welcome you in the airport with the company driver. So you are really felt comfortable. So you don't need to worry. So the extra service is peanuts. You're buying $1 million here. In 20 kilos, more than $1 million. Mm. On 10 kilos is $500,000. So if I am the buyer, I will spend money in order to get what I'm looking for, and I need Wilhelmina's guidance. I am not an agency here. I'm not. I am here to sell. But you have two options. You want me to be with you, or you just travel by yourself. But if there is an issue, don't ask me because I'm too far. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
However, I'm going to monitor the movement of the buyer, but to keep on calling long distance, it costs money. Mm. My services is not for free.
Costs money.
Yeah. There's a saying in Golden Rules, Donald. The Golden Rules of buying gold and diamond, it says, He who has the gold makes the rules. The government is making the rules, not you. So you have to follow the government in order for you to get the supply. Does that make sense?
Mm. It does make sense. I mean, for everybody who is a logical aspect of business, has to understand that the person with the product, whatever the product may be, he makes the rules. I mean, it goes on to everything. Basically, everything works like that.
Correct.
I don't know why it has to change when it comes to gold and diamonds. I mean, the basis method of buying and selling, you go to the seller, you hear from the seller what the seller is required. When you agree with the requirements of the seller, you buy, you give the buyer, the seller money, you take whatever the seller has. That's the basic aspect of buying and selling.
Correct.
So,
you're right. Being an accountant, you're right. You're 100% right, Donald, being an accountant. So I hope everybody listening to our conversation, this is live, and the future buyer. Now we are now 2021. I'll tell you, 2011, I used to handle Ghana. And I have the buyer called Salwan Kanwar, right? Salwan Kanwar signed a contract with us in Ghana under Ancient Mining Company. So Salwan Kanwar signed a contract with us of 40 kilos, and he has a buyer's mandate who traveled to Ghana, 2011 and 12. And Heidi was excited. The gold was tested at geological, and Heidi said, Madam, the gold is real. I'm excited. I'm going to open a business in Ghana, and I'm going to make an office, and you and me will make money. And I told Heidi, relax, take it easy. I'm not interested. Just relax. So what happened? So Heidi returned to Canada, and Salwan traveled with him. I did not travel. This is the learning process that I learned 2011 and 12. So instead of 40 kilos, Salwan Kanwar cannot afford to pay 40 kilos. So he bargained to the father of justice of 5 kilos. During that time, the price of 5 kilos was $250,000. So he only pays $17,000 tax. So he did hand carry the gold. Lucky I was very smart that the contract and the refinery address was in the contract, and I review, and I was being abused. And this Salwan Kanwar, he's a stupid guy, and he abused me that my seller is a scammer. And I told him, you were in Ghana and your buyer's mandate. How did you become a scam? So what I have done, I called the refinery in Canada, because the contract, the address and telephone number of the refinery is on the contract. So I did call the refinery in Canada. The refinery didn't buy the gold. Why? The refinery didn't meet the criteria. The gold was full of brass. It's only 14 carats. So the refinery didn't buy, because the refinery wanting to buy to refine it into 99.99. So I learned out of that mistake. So what happened? Salwan Kanwar blogged us. So I responded the blog of Salwan Kanwar. I didn't receive any single cents at all. So he blogged the Ancient Mining Company. Ancient Mining Company is not a scammer. Their gold, some area in Torquay, have a lot of chemical component like brass, lead, silver, and zinc. So probably the gold was 14 carats. So why are you going to blame me that I didn't travel, and you and your buyer's mandate, you meet the seller of mine? You should be very vigilant, because gold is very mysterious product. So this guy is a small timer, is a gold trader. He blogged me. I said, oh, well, I responded the blog. I don't care if you blog me, because I didn't receive any single cents. Again, I went to Ghana 2013. Eric Blasco from Mexico. I was screwed, both buyers and seller. I learned out of that. Yes, face to face, I was screwed. Yeah, Eric Blasco has no money. 50 kilos during the time. Lucky I was there. They were asking CIF and I bombarded the owner, the old man, do not give the gold to a stranger in Mexico. When the gold arrived in Mexico, you will never be paid. And either you're going to be murdered or either you're going to be kidnapped. So the old man decided not to ship the gold March 1st, 2013. I saved the old man. I saved the seller in Ghana. Yes? That is why I fired all of my sellers. Yeah? Go ahead.
I mean, it could have been a loss up to now. I mean, 50 kilos is a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I saved the seller. Since then, I dropped all of them. I would not touch Ghana because sellers are devious as well. They are stubborn, they are hard-headed. When they meet the buyer, they are excited, and I told them, don't be excited because you're going to be failure. Yes? There's a lot of buyers stranded in Ghana, but I turn it down. Yeah. 2019, my seller lost gold as well. Yeah. 2019, before I arrived in Conakry. They lost 450 kilos because the buyers promised that they're gonna invest in mining, they're gonna invest, etc., etc. When I arrived in the office 2019, they lost 450 kilos.
To this dubious buyer.
Doji buyer. And the son give the buyer 100%.
What do you call them?
Doji. They're scammers.
No, the other name that you just...
Iji buyer.
You said the name.
Iji buyer.
These people.
So when I was in the office 2019, I told the father, do not believe on buyers. Buyers are liars. Yeah. Do not believe. That is why they're scared of Wilhelmina, because I exposed them. Yeah.
Yes.
They're scared of this woman in Australia because I'm going to expose them. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think at this point in time, everybody who comes to you needs to understand that you have a track record. I mean, all the transactions that you have made, they've been successful.
Yeah.
Everybody went out happy. I mean, at least people have to go online and check your track record before they can say anything. I mean, that's what I would say.
Well, they check on record that the Wilhelmina was a scammer. I don't know how much I scammed them. Yeah, I don't have any idea. They're all dodgy. They put my name. They put my name on a scam site. Good on them. Good luck on them. Good luck.
But how do you call somebody a scammer, but he is continuing even up to... Anyway, what can we say? There are people who are like that. When you are, first of all, if you wouldn't know, they might as well be learning from you, but they are hiding.
They're hiding. A while ago, I think...
some people...
Yeah, go ahead. A while ago, there was...
Some people, they...
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
they'll be like, we started this thing. This is from us. You know, some people, they don't like to acknowledge people who really, pave the way for them. So even though you are paving the way for them, they will just not acknowledge you like that.
They're scared of me.
And even stupid.
Yeah, they're scared of me, Donald. To be honest with you, last week I have a conference with 4 people. They wanted to buy gold in Conakry, right? And Roy is very abusive. Roy knows me 2019, and we created the group chat on WhatsApp, and I was listening to them, and I was reading on their chat, and they're demanding to bring the gold to Central Bank of Conakry. Now, Conakry has a policy. And I told this group, why are we going to bring the gold to Central Bank and we don't know you? And we have an office. So I want to talk to your buyer. When I ask them, I want to talk to your buyer, they start to abuse me. And Roy He's on my WhatsApp, and I said to Roy, Roy, you've been talking to Wilhelmina 2019. You did not read the full corporate offer. It's very clear and simple. And he was asking about my seller's background, and I said to Roy, what's the video of Mineral Consulting Group of Company? Then you will know who is my seller. And you will see Wilhelmina, who is talking to the gemologist to explain about how he used deposit of gold in Conakry, and I was being abused by this EG and DUG broker. Yes? And right and there, I removed him from the group chat because I didn't have time to waste. They're all joker. Can you imagine 4 of them? To me, they are not buyer. They are just running around soliciting, so I turn it down. Then you're going to say, oh, because you're a scammer. I don't know how much I scam. I told him, you are scammers because you are not trading. Failure. Failure, failure, failure. So...
But, I mean... yeah. Sometimes people want to skip the process, but somebody who has went through the finance,
you want to ask how much is their commission? How much is their commission? I said, no, we don't give commission. We give the buyer a discount. That is why they are angry of me. That's why they don't like me, because I am cutting them. I am. Yes. I am cutting everyone. Yeah? Go ahead.
But it's not like you'll be cutting them completely. I mean, there's a fee for them, obviously, if the transaction does go through, isn't it?
Well, if you are acting on behalf of your buyer is paying your services. Yeah.
Exactly.
My seller is paying my services. That's why I marketed. That's why they hired me. I'm not a broker. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you have been able to secure a discount to a certain level, that means you as a mandate to the buyer, you're gonna have something coming from your buyer. I mean, you would have to think, if he's truly a buyer, he would have to give you something even better than your expectation, because you have been able to negotiate a discount for him.
Well, our selling price is LMA less 5% actually. Real seller sell his gold 8%. But because you come to me and I will travel with you, I'll give you 8% because I'm charging my extra service to accompany you. Instead, I'm giving you 3% in total of 8%. But this EG broker didn't understand. So 8%. So the buyer has to get the profit. Now, when I see the buyer, that the buyer provide me his business registration, importation license, banking financial statement, that he has really money available in his bank account, I might consider to give the buyer 10%. Why? I will ask my head office, okay, let's give this buyer 10% because I'm satisfied. I validated the buyer properly, thoroughly. This buyer is serious, so let us give the buyer an incentive because I'm going to travel with the buyer. So at the end of the day, the buyer is a winner. Is a winner.
Yes, a winner. I mean, 10%.
Yes, instead of 5%. Instead of 5%, I'm giving them 10%.
That's a big win.
He is. I'll tell you, I took the buyer from Malaysia. And the buyer was supposed to go to Ghana. He saw me on YouTube. He paid my services. He got the gold with my seller in Conakry. Yeah. He doesn't have any issue. We stayed there for 9 days and we have a good time. I entertained the buyer and he's happy. That is a real buyer. So the buyer has an option, 5% or 10%. Which one you like?
10%. Obviously, 10% is more lucrative.
It is. But this EG and DUG buyer doesn't digest and doesn't watch the video. And I said our selling price is LMA less 5%. And if I'm going to travel with you, I will give you 3% extra in order of 8%. because I am charging you, so
Yes.
you're gonna get back the money that I charge you, right? So if I'm satisfied with you and you show me your financial statement, I might consider. I might ask my seller, let us give this buyer 10 or 11%, but don't bank on it because I have not seen your paperwork and you have not convinced me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. It
Mm.
is. Yes.
See? So that is how
Yes.
it works. Mm. So this is the biggest transaction we have on 2021. 2.5 tons of gold, and 2020 Mali deliver 1 ton of gold in Turkey. Yes. September
Yes.
19,
Yes.
200
I
kilos
saw that. Yes.
deliver in Dubai. I think you saw that on my virtual online store. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Mhm.
I did.
This buyer from America, I learned from him as well. Every day I learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I'm sharing live, because there are so many buyers that has been deceived by the seller. The seller say, "Oh, this is my price." I'll tell you, Donald. Someone offer you
Yes.
35 or 38 or 40. Don't believe on that seller. Don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
That that is the price that he's going to tease you. You are a
To
foreigner.
lure you onto him. Mm.
He will going to teach you, and he's not going to tell you what necessary, right? Necessary expenses when he travel to Africa. There is a cost of $100 per kilo. Let's say you're gonna say 20
Mm.
kilos. 20 times $100 per kilo to taste the gold at the local refinery. Okay, 20.
That's 20,000.
20,000. Do you
Mm.
have 20,000 to pay to taste the gold? Right.
Mm.
So if you don't have that, well, you're gonna have an issue. Mhm. Now, on assuming you're a buyer, Donald, you show me everything. So I would be happy for you as being a buyer. I might give you 53,974, which is 10%. So 53,974 times 20 kilos, that is 1,794,000.
Oh, sorry. You say not 20,000, but 2,000.
No,
You need
20 kilos.
you said it's 100.
No, 20
No,
kilos.
for 50 kilos.
No, 20
Uh-huh.
kilos times 100, that is 2,000.
Yeah, that is 2,000, not 20,000. Sorry.
Correction, please. Okay, that is 2,000.
Yes,
Now,
yes,
you show
yes.
me, assuming you're the buyer, right? You're not a buyer. We just,
Uh-huh.
I'm explaining to you being an accountant, because when you have a buyer in
Yes.
Botswana, you will know how you're gonna tell your buyer. Now, as a 10% today, the price of gold today is 59,971.27. I will give
Uh-huh.
you 53,974 as today. But next week, we don't
Yes.
know because the price changes. So our price also, it varies days to day. Now, on 20 kilos times 53,974.14, that is 1,794,082.
Hmm.
Do you have 1 million?
That's the big question.
That is the big question. Now you know the answer.
Mm.
Now, that are the shipping cost and, and insurance times 2%. That is 21,000, isn't it?
Mm.
2%,
Yes, it is. Yes.
21,589. Shipping cost and
Mm.
insurance. You have to pay that. You have
Mm.
to pay the shipping cost, and you need to insure the gold because somebody might steal your gold. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. December 31st, I sent a big package through DHL. I purchased the goods
Yes.
to send it to my loved one overseas. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So the DHL, they open my box because I have my own box. They open it and they
Yes.
value the goods. So the value of my
Mm.
goods is 544.29. So there, I was
Mm.
given an itemized, and I took a picture as well. And then they charge me the shipping cost of $240 plus $25 insurance. So 240 plus 25. I paid DHL 265. Now when my goods arrived in overseas, my loved one was charged an importation duty of $250. My loved one have no issue because that is normal. Now buying gold exactly the same. When the gold arrived to your destination, there would be an importation duty. Yes, there would be. But the seller would not tell you that. Wilhelmina is telling everything. You got me?
Yes, yes.
So when you arrive in Africa, there is no surprises because you know you're prepared already that there would be a cost and there would be a charge. Yes? You have to pay the gold. You have to pay our gold. We don't give you CIF. We don't. So impossible.
And
This.
after you pay.
Yeah? Go ahead.
And yes, and after you pay for the gold, you have to go through the process of taking the gold now out, because maybe sometimes people don't understand that after you buy from the seller, there's a process now of insurance, like you're explaining now, of insurance and shipping costs.
Correct. Correct. When you pay the gold bank, bank to bank, it would take 3 to 4 working days to clear your payment because the money coming from your bank account goes to the correspondence bank, then goes to the central bank, then goes to the headquarters, and then goes to your bank account. It would take 3 to 4 working days. So you have to stay in Africa 9 working days. But this seller would not tell you that. He would not, because he has no idea. Yeah. He has no idea. That is why the company hired Wilhelmina. Yeah. I was being hired to handle Mali, Sierra Leone, and Conakry. I'm the only person who tell the world this is how you're gonna buy. Yes.
Yes.
So I think I already explained to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Who comes out online and teaches us exactly the true process of success.
Yes. Some people say, oh, Wilhelmina, teach me. I am not here to teach you guys. Just listen and read. You will learn. If you listen and read, then I'll tell you, guaranteed you're a winner. I am not here to teach you, but because we are having a conversation, you know Wilhelmina for 3 years or 4 years now, and I interviewed you. What did you learn out of my video? Now you start to learn. Now you start to digest it. It took you 4 years to digest, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
To me, when I went to university, I have to watch and listen to my professor. Yes? And I have to jot down, I have to bring my tape recorder to record what my professor is telling her student. When I go home, I listen and I jot down, and then I put that into my head. This dodgy buyer and edgy broker buyer, they have no idea. They have no idea. That's why they
don't
hate.
Want to go through the process.
That's the reason why they hate my guts. I don't know why. This should not be. I told everyone, do not come to Wilhelmina for conference if you are not ready. Read first, digest it, then you come back. Don't come to Wilhelmina asking question, because question and answer is always on the video. You got me, Donald?
Yes.
So now, 2021, I would like you to summarize out of our conversation.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Basically what I would say now is, you know, the true fact about buying and selling is the same. Whether gold, whether going to the supermarket, the procedure is the same.
Correct.
But you need to understand that. That's the first thing that you need to understand. When you are coming to buy gold or diamonds, you need to understand the first thing that has to come into your mind is, do I have money?
Correct.
Do I have money to buy that thing that I am looking for?
Correct.
If the answer is yes, then you can contact Wilhelmina.
Correct.
So,
Agree.
because if you cannot answer this first question, there's no need for us to proceed to the next ones of how the whole thing really works. Because for all this to work, is for you as Mr. Buyer to have the money muscle to go through that. Because if we don't be straight with you with this fact, you are going to come with your last 500,000, then you are going to lose.
Correct. Correct.
Yes. So first of all, sit down with yourself, ask yourself this question: do I have the money to proceed with this business? If it is yes, contact us. We move forward with the transaction. It's gonna be as smooth as you have never seen. It's always smooth. It's always smooth as long as you have got the money to make it.
Well, now you start to learn, Donald. Being an accountant now, you start to learn 2021. You've been following Wilhelmina for bloody 4 years. Now 2021, you you decided to learn. My goodness. It took you 4 years to learn a simple scenario. My goodness.
It's a degree. This is a degree. It's a degree. You have to go for 4 years in university, isn't it?
Well, you learned the University of Hard Knocks for 4 years. My goodness. My goodness, Donald. My Celia didn't teach me. Yeah. You know, Donald, when I was working in real estate here in Brisbane, my principal would not train me. The principal would not hire you if you don't have a license on real estate salesperson. They're gonna give us the book. When I apply for a job, they give me the sample of the contract, the books, and follow it. And I did read for 24 hours. Overnight I read and then sample and then I go out and I meet the client and I talk to the vendors. Very simple. If you are well educated, you will learn. But if you're, excuse my language, if you're stupid or dumb, you will never. So don't be involved in gold business if you're dumb. Don't. Because you will never close the deal. Brokering is not for everyone. No. And I'm not doing to deal. I'm not. I remove all of them. Yeah. I only deal buyer's mandate because buyer's mandate, he was been paid by his buyer and my seller is paying my work. That's why I created my online store. Does that make sense now, Donald?
Yes, it does.
So for 4 years, you start to learn 2021. Congratulations. Congratulations, you learned from University of Hard Knocks.
I have my degree now.
But I do not. What amazing an accountant. You're accountant for 4 years. To me, this is hands-on.
Yes, I graduated in 2016.
So now you graduated for 4 years learning on how to buy this precious item through social media. My goodness.
Now this is my second degree now.
Donald, thank you very much for our conversation. Yeah?
Yes, you know what? I'm the one who is to really thank you. I mean, for really opening up to me effortlessly. Even, you'll be explaining even when it's not live, like you'll be calling me and inquiring if this thing is really working with me. I mean, I'm really thankful to you. You have been such a big support to me.
My pleasure. I'm here I'm here to help anyone because this is real business. I am here to assist because this is business. I'm here to sell. My seller hired Wilhelmina to market it. So now when you have a buyer, so you have to educate your buyer before you bring it to Wilhelmina on group chat. At least listen again to our conversation and repeat it again. Then when you have the buyer, whether he buy gold and diamond, diamond needs a Kimberley certificate. Without that, you will never take the diamond out of the country. You're gonna be accused as a diamond laundering. Yeah. So you're happy now that you learned from Wilhelmina.
I'm very, very, very much happy. Very much happy.
All right. Thank you, Donald, and nice talking to you. And I'm pleased that you learned this time out of 4 years. Okay?
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Donald, and have a nice evening.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Now, I have a very good conversation with Donald from Botswana. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the social media. There are three attributes of buying this precious item. Uh, you buy gold because you want a good return. You want gold and diamond because you want diversification. And gold and diamond is liquidity. Mhm. Three attributes on buying gold. You want positive result. Gold is the compound and you're going to use this to have into your portfolio. You will refine it into 99.99. Gold has many uses. Now on diamond, you're buying uncut. You're not buying cut. We have fancy color. We have also uncut. So our manifest, video and picture. Watch and click on every link. Do not come to Wilhelmina if you are not a buyer. Do not. And if you're a buyer's mandate, you listen and read. And go on the link and click it and scroll it. Don't be excited meeting this lady because I'm not excited to meet you. Because I'm sick and tired of explaining everything now is on social media. The best site to find the supply through YouTube channel and on Facebook. Facebook is the marketplace. I am here to market. However, even though we are here to market, I expand it and I put the full corporate offer in order for you to be easy to understand before you make a final decision. Make sure that you have money. Don't ask CIFLC because you are just wasting your time. And I'm going to reject you. So I think I explained to you. Now I have a conversation with Donald from Botswana. It took me 1 hour. We have exchanged information and discussion. Learn out of this video. Mr. Buyer, today we are now February. 2020, we deliver 1 ton of gold to Turkey. My seller in Bamako, Mali. January 7, we have a big appetite buyer. He secured 2.5 tons. He is going to refine into gold bullion. He is buying more gold. So we are here to supply him. So I allocate supply for this big appetite. For the second shipment, 2 tons. The first shipment, 2.5 tons. The second shipment, 2 tons. I don't have any problem with this big appetite buyer. He provides everything. That is a real buyer. We don't release my seller's information unless you as the buyer will send a formal letter of intent to purchase coming from you, not cut and paste. Because I'm going to validate thoroughly before I'm going to advise my seller to proceed. Now, Mr. Buyer, I want you to pay attention to this video. On your letter of intent must state carat purity you're looking for, quantity. The mode of payment is FOB. Do not send that you want the gold CIF, immediately your letter of intent would be Wilhelmina, because we don't deal CIF. This is FOB. Gold and diamond is cash business, not a credit business. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I hope you learn out of this video.